Hey everybody, it is Tara here, your occupational wellness coach from the garden. As you can see, I am not in the studio this afternoon. I'm actually broadcasting from my home in Wausau. It's been a wonderful week and very busy, and so I decided to take this opportunity to broadcast in a little bit different way and record from home and upload this for everyone's viewing pleasure. So hope you get a lot out of this, and I'm glad that you're watching today. Thank you for checking in. Um, the last couple of weeks, we've talked about uh, the hospitality and restaurant industry and some of the things that affect the businesses, especially in the summertime going into the travel season. This weekend is Memorial Day weekend, and in the Northwoods in Wisconsin here, it's oftentimes the very first opportunity that people have to come out of the cities and just get outside if it's really nice. And so, how do you set expectations for your customers and let them know that, hey, they've been coming to see you for the last how many years, 15, 20, 30 years in some cases, but their business has changed, right? And they maybe don't have the same staff that they used to have. They don't have the ability to stay open in the same hours that they used to. So the first session 2 weeks ago was really about how do we realign customer expectations and make sure that we can match the experiences that they've had in the past, but just different in different ways, right? The second week, last week, we talked about some ways to retain your employees. Um, from the first week, we actually, some of the strategies that we talked about for communication, updating your business listings online, making sure that your business hours are very clear to all of your potential customers, and that you have all of your new products or set a standard of, maybe now people need to call in for reservations where you may never have had to have reservations prior. But set that expectation online and make sure that you have that clearly communicated to the public when they're doing searches to set up information for your business and during their interaction and planning that with you. The second part of that is really very clearly communicating that expectation to your staff. So, and setting them up for the fact that they should know that there may be people that are going to be upset with the fact that you have shortened hours or that you don't have the same products and services that you used to. Just make sure that those team members know exactly how you want them to respond to those customers and make sure that they're have a great customer experience this year. Last week, we talked about how to make it a fun environment for your current employees and how to really make sure that you get them to come back year after year, and make them want to be there, because they're going to have a lot more work to do. You have fewer staff, and there may be even like fewer hours available for them to work if you've cut your business back on the number of nights that you're open to accommodate for the lack of staff, or uh, just overall environment, like you just don't have the same size menu, etc. That is going to cut into their paycheck. It's going to cut into their tips, and the method in which they really depend on making money in the summertime. So how do you maintain that employee who's loyal, who is great with customers, but they still have a need to make a lot of money? So number one, make sure that they're having fun in their environment. Give them the power and the autonomy to do whatever necessary to make sure that customers are happy. Um, Take time to thank your staff on the days that you're not open or on the days that you're not working. Make sure that they, you do things for them. Have a team, meeting each week. Keep them updated on the progress and where they're at, where you're at for the summer. Share with them your goals for the summer and what you'd like to earn as a business, and make sure they understand how important they are to the overall structure and operation of the business. If they don't understand that, they're really not going to see the value in what they do at that level. So, sharing how important they are really helps to empower your employees by helping them understand that they're a valuable part of your team and that without them, you really wouldn't be able to do what you do. So, this week, going a tiny bit different direction, but still similar in the outcome that a lot of business owners, especially business owners who've had their company for a really long time, tend to get complacent. And it's not that they don't know their industry well, but it's just that times change and technology is constantly changing. So, what are some things that you can do to stay on top of the industry? Make sure that what's all happening in your industry today, and not just what it was 10 or 15 years ago. Um, and one way to do that is to really get involved with industry related associations and trade associations. Now, when I say association, some folks might think that I'm talking about a local chamber of commerce or, local types of networking groups, such as a BNI network. There's a big difference between a local chamber and, for example, like a tavern league, right? Or an industry that is an association that's revolves specifically around the restaurant and food service industry. Let me just explain what I mean. So when you go to a chamber, you get a chance to network with other businesses in your community, but oftentimes you have a service related industry like a restaurant, and you get commercial bankers, insurance sales reps, and professions like that where they may frequent the restaurant, but and they may even help the restaurant with the services. But from another owner perspective, when you look at like restaurants, retail stores, fitness centers, anybody in the hospitality industry, when are they working? They're working at 5 o'clock. They're working. So it makes it very difficult for them to go to these kinds of events to begin with, and to really see and to be able to experience the same value out of those interactions with other business owners, because everybody's working. So what are some ways that you can do that? Well, by joining an industry related association, you get a chance to expand your network with like-minded professionals, right? So while you're running and growing the business, it's not just what you know that can help make you successful. It's who you know that can be just as important. So industry related associations are just an amazing way to connect with contacts in your industry, and in particular, to connect with other business owners who have the same experiences as you, especially if it's an association related to the state that you're living in, because there will be regional differences with, maybe employment laws, or uh, seasonal variations, with what am I trying to say? With like the travel industry, for example. So, getting outside of what your normal network is within your hometown really gives you a chance to connect with those individuals that are, in the same industry as you. They're experiencing the same issues as you, whether it's the cost of food, whether it's the difficulties with hiring help, whether it's consistency in, staffing. It's just all of those similar things, but you get a chance to connect with individuals who are experiencing the same things as you are. The second thing that's really important in connecting with local organizations or industry related organizations is you also have the opportunity to recruit potential star players to your team. We all know that growth comes oftentimes from within. And the more that you get outside of your day-to-day network, the more opportunities you have to connect with individuals who may be that one person that you've been looking for, who's going to lead your team for the next 5 years, maybe even take over the company for you once you want to retire. But if you don't ever get into those organizations to find those motivated individuals, it makes it very difficult for you to connect with people who are going to be of that highly motivated professional mindset. Attending events with an industry related association really gives you an opportunity to connect with talent and identify that next star player for your team. Number 3, connect with or become a mentor if you're a part of an industry related association, mentoring a new individual in the industry can be a great way for you to share knowledge that you may not even realize that you have. Things that you associate as being everyday and like common sense, maybe experiences that someone new to the industry has never even thought of. So mentoring someone who's new in the industry can be a great way for you to build your network and also help build value in your knowledge and your expertise in the industry, and potentially, again, build your team. But if you feel that you are not in a position to be a mentor yourself, look for someone else that could be a mentor to you. Find an individual who's very successful in the industry and is willing to mentor someone who wants to grow, right? If you are ambitious and willing to work hard and put in the commitment to growing your business by joining an association, finding a mentor shouldn't be that hard. And connecting with someone who loves and is as passionate about that industry as you are is going to be a great way to help set you apart and spark some new ideas and give you some great foundational plans to build a future. Number 4, you have an opportunity to grow as a business owner. Associations often offer many educational opportunities, and just like anything else, you get out of something what you put into it. If you never take the time to look at the resources that are free and available to all the members of that association, well, that knowledge and information is going to be wasted. But if you take the opportunity to engage with that information and watch podcasts, listen to the industry specifics, find out details and trainings that are available for individuals and business owners just like yourself, take that opportunity to grow. It may not all apply to your business and what you're doing specifically, but there may be bits and pieces that do, or they may pertain to your team, and it's always an opportunity to grow. Education is never wasted. Number 5, give your reputation a lift through industry associations. Reputation is everything in the business world, and what you have the ability to grow and share in any particular format is going to be huge. Joining an industry, when you become a member, it sends a message to everyone else in that group that you want to grow and that you want to be better. So just simply taking the time to invest in your personal growth shows other members that you are serious about wanting to improve your business and really move forward with where you're going, and that you want some new ideas and that you want to welcome innovation and technology. Number 6, becoming a member of an industry-related association allows you to become an advocate for your industry. Oftentimes, industries, for example, the Builders Association and home builders, other home builders associations, they advocate on a political level to help other business owners just like yourself. During COVID, the National Association of Home Builders was instrumental in getting the construction industry and construction employees labeled as essential workers to make sure that homes were still being built and that hospitals and schools and projects that were in the middle of being built didn't just go wasted and ruined because they couldn't complete the project in the middle of something. So those are the kinds of advocates that can really help your industry. If your industry is really struggling with staff, I know in the restaurant industry, there's much talk in the news about different businesses that are and employees that are trying to unionize in that fast food industry. Those are big deals, and understanding how that will affect your business and what are some of the things that you can do on a state level or a national level to help promote and help really revise that employee structure for making sure that employees can make a living on what they need, and that you as a small business owner have the ability to support their needs. is essential. So if you can become an advocate for your business and your industry, that's a really big piece of the puzzle from being a joiner. Number 7, joining an industry-related association allows you to keep your finger on the pulse of industry trends. Depending on what industry it is, there's always technology, artificial intelligence, robotics that are improving the industry every single day. I can't go into a new Taco Bell without noticing the kiosks that are in, every single line and that allow customers to order themselves, right? The touch screens that make it very simple. And it's not about reducing the employees necessarily, but it's really about allowing the customers to expedite that process so they don't have to wait as long, which is why many of them have launched apps for pre-ordering it at fast food restaurants. But it's also about having the ability to serve continue to serve the employees or the customers in the way that they want and with a reduced staff force, right? If all you have is staff enough to cover 3 positions in a restaurant, oftentimes that's not enough to run a full kitchen. Maybe during a slow time it might be, right? But in a busy time, there's no way that 3 people can cover all the aspects of what needs to be done in a restaurant. So having a kiosk that can help facilitate the duties of one person standing at a cash register is huge. So what are some of the other things that you can help develop in your industry, and what are the other trends that are happening to help with other parts of automation and robotics that may be a huge benefit to you in your business? Staying a part of those associations allows you to know what's going on and allow to stay in touch with those trends in the industry. Being a part of member associations also allows you to find new opportunities for your business. Oftentimes, associations have discounts for purchases of vehicles or industry-related types of business purchases. So in the restaurant industry, it might be discounts on large commercial types of kitchen equipment. In a hospitality industry, there may be discounts on purchases of vehicles and shuttle buses through certain providers, through national, GMC, or through Chevy, those kinds of providers. And having that access to those membership discounts, even as a small business, may be a huge opportunity for you to save thousands of dollars depending on what kind of business you have. And finally, joining an industry-related association allows you to gain a competitive advantage over your other local competitors. Knowing what's happening in the industry and being able to stay ahead of those trends allows you to really understand the market and the changes that are happening, not just within your business, but also within the customers that are frequenting your business. Customers change, their needs change. And as our population continues to age, technology demands that businesses stay up to date with their technology and the way that they interact with customers. So get a competitive advantage and just be a part of what's happening. Rather than ignoring the things that are changing in your industry, welcome them. The types of connections that you can get and the information that you can gain from an industry-related association, as opposed to just a local, business networking group, a chamber, is huge. And not to say that those local associations don't have value. They have a ton of value because they can also put you in connection with other industry-related things. However, when you have industry-related associations, you have the ability to kind of get out of your normal routine, right? We all sort of get comfortable with what we're doing. We've always done it this way. Or, oh, this has worked for us for the past 10 years. Why would we change the menu if, people aren't complaining? Well, just because people aren't complaining about something doesn't mean that you don't need to change something or make updates at some point in time. So being aware of what are the standards in the industry. How often are other restaurants changing their menus? How often are other hotels updating their looks inside the rooms? How often are, other types of travel related, tourist related types of businesses, updating their look and feel to make sure that they're maintaining that customer service that customers have come to love over the years, and that they're going to want every single year when they come back. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Please be sure to follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. TheGarden.life is where you can find our website and register for upcoming classes. We've got some amazing programming coming up this summer, so make sure that you follow us. And thank you for listening in to our 3-part series on getting ready for the tourism season and how to really stay on top of employees and get ready for that season going into summer of 2022.